Today, our friends from Soul Hope have invited us along for a trip of their own. But first, they want to give us a tour of their own facility here in Jinja. Here, they're able to provide more advanced medical care to people who suffer from jiggers. This is also where they're able to produce all the shoes that they give out kids, each one being handcrafted. And for all that they do, they don't charge a single penny to the villages or communities that they help here in Uganda. The main facility here also happens to be located right next to the Nile River, and the views aren't that bad. With some great views of the Nile finally marked off of our shot list, it was time to make our way yet to another village. The weather has recently been more rainy than usual, which makes navigating the roads a little more interesting. Nevertheless, we make it to the village with no delays. We have one rule on this trip. If you take photos of the kids, you have to show them the pictures. As it turns out, not everyone here owns a mirror, so it's not often they actually get to see themselves. But it's exciting when they do. The team wastes no time setting up. Our objective today is to provide jigger removal for the kids of this school. We talked a little about this back in episode 4. Remember when I said jiggers are about 10 times worse than chiggers in America? Well, today we're gonna see why.
So we're helping with a jigger clinic today with Soul Hope, and so jiggers they're not chiggers, they are something different. They're sand flea. They get into the pores of the skin, they develop an egg sac, the sac hatches, and all the babies come out and get into other pores and go through the whole cycle again. So if the parents aren't catching what's going on and practicing good hygiene, removing the jiggers, then it can turn into a debilitating situation. So some of these kids, they've got their feet full of them. And that's just from walking around barefoot out here where there are jiggers in the ground. Some of them we're also seeing in the hands. We're seeing them in their arms and their legs. And that comes from sleeping on the dirt where there's an infested area, because they don't normally climb up like chiggers do. They just pretty much stay in where the feet are. But if they're sleeping on the ground, then they have contact with those areas and they just go right in and just do their business. So that's what we're seeing here. If the kids have a lot of jiggers, especially in parts of their body, then Soul Hope will go and visit the family and see what's going on, see what they can do to offer education. And if the whole family is infested, they will take them to the Hope Center, and then they will put them through a rehab and clean their homes, and then they'll take them back to their homes where it's afterwards. So, and they'll check on them periodically and make sure everything is going well.
When it comes to Ugandans, you'll observe that there's a strong sense of community between one another. Even our taxi driver, Ashraf, joins us to help out. Soul Hope regularly checks up on these communities that they visit. In fact, they were in this one not just 3 months prior. Because of that, most of these kids will only have a few jiggers to be removed, but there's always going to be a few here that will require a little more specialized attention. And it will take nothing but time and patience to help out these special cases.
We had learned a story many years ago that one of the worst cases that they had was an elderly woman out in a village who had, I believe it was like over 1,000 jiggers. And what had happened to her is, in the communities, they have a misunderstanding of what jiggers are, and so it's all surrounded in superstition, and that if somebody has these, especially if they have a lot, that they're cursed. So people don't want to have anything to do with them. So what happened to this elderly woman was they actually locked her inside of her home, like her hut, and where she lived, the jiggers were very infested in the dirt, and she was living on a dirt floor. Most lay on straw mats on the dirt, so it's very easy to not only get them on the hands and the feet, which is where you see it most commonly, but if you're laying in that dirt, you get it head to toe. So she literally had jiggers head to toe. And when the cases are very high, I believe it's over like 100 jiggers that they find in one of these clinics, they will actually bring the people into their big center that we'll be going back to, and they will treat them there. Usually it's for at least 2 weeks. Sometimes they've had people there with the severe cases for a couple of months so that they can continue to monitor and to go in and to get all the jiggers out and to treat them. And with this woman, after treating her, they did go in. They were able to clean, and there's spray that you can do to kind of help get rid of the jiggers. And then the important thing that they also did was to educate the community that she lived in so that they would understand that the jigger problem it's not a superstitious thing. It's not about a curse. It's about a little creature that lives in the dirt that can get into your pores. They lay eggs, they grow, they become very painful, and then the only way to get them out is what they actually do is use a razor to open the skin. They use a safety pin to pull it out. They clean it, they wrap it, and then for most people it'll heal and they're good to go. But when it's not taken care of, then it can get very bad because they'll multiply under the skin. And a couple of simple things that prevent it are washing the hands and feet daily on a regular basis, under the nails, all of those things, and then also wearing shoes. And so this happens most commonly because they don't have shoes. And you'll see it, like I said, first in the feet because they're walking in the dirt all the time. So that was one of those kind of very eye-opening, traumatic stories to hear, actually, that a community would do that to this woman and that she had to go through having them removed over an extended time to make sure. And she, after that, was able to heal and be well and to go back home.
Once jiggers are removed, each kid is sent on to be fitted for a new pair of shoes provided by Soul Hope. In addition, they're also given some medical supplies to help with the healing process before they're sent back on their way. It's been a full day working in this village with Soul Hope. These kids love it when they have visitors. Every time we come to a village, our visits are always met with the welcoming laughter and fun, and our time here is always well spent. And it's never a bad thing to make somebody else's day. The next few days would be our last here at the UOCC orphanage, so we decided to spend some more quality time with the kids here. Each of us getting the chance to play with the kids and teach them something new. It's a little known fact that I'm actually a self-defense instructor, which seems to me to be a practical skill to impart on this part of the world. Just as well, we learned that these kids also really love to draw, and they're pretty darn good at it too. This morning, Kim has to depart back to the States, so the team gathers around to say their goodbyes. Meanwhile, the rest of us have other plans for today.
Jonathan gave me a bling bling, so I look good.
We spent a lot of time exploring the culture of Uganda and visiting various villages, but now we want to explore the wilder side of the country. And what better way to do that than to take a boat ride on the Nile River? Of course, we have to wait for our boat to arrive, but that doesn't take long. It's no secret in these parts that not many Ugandans can actually swim. In fact, I'm told that just over on Lake Victoria, there's actually a prison island with no walls or fences because no one will actually dare to get in the water. As our boat pushes against the current, we arrive just at the source of the Nile, with the river on one side and Lake Victoria on the other.
Frank, you a coward.
Always Frank.
No, of course, no. You know me. I swim all the way through that. So that's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
With Frank's Olympic swimming skills, we find our way back to land, and tonight is hot dog night here at the orphanage. Unfortunately for some of us, the Indian food we had for lunch seems to be taking its revenge.
Something either it just didn't like or maybe it was bad food.
So 10 out of 10, how would you rate Indian?
Hey, the taste, 6.5. The throwing up, honestly not too bad, 5 out of 10.
With some of the members of the team struggling with something going around, today we have some special visitors arriving at the orphanage. These are the widows to a nearby village that have been part of UOCC for quite some time, many of whom have helped look after the kids even before the dormitory was originally built. To no surprise, we're greeted with a traditional African welcome wagon and dinner. In a world where if you don't work, you don't eat, it's not common to ever see Ugandans kick back and enjoy luxuries. Which is why when we take trips like these, UOCC makes sure that these kids get out to have some fun. Today we took them and the widows to a nearby resort to jump into a pool, many of whom have never even had the opportunity. And I think they're enjoying it. It's a great way for the kids to have a good time hanging out, even for the widows too, although as for them, they're hanging out a little more than they should.
Man, I am actually, come I'll tell you something. So, what happens is, since even the ladies are taking off their tops, I'm feeling even ashamed of being here. I should be standing the other side.
Oh, you're just gonna run away, huh?
Yeah. That's why I'm just seated.
With swimming lessons out of the way, we are now headed back to the orphanage, and Daniel has decided to teach us how to drive in Uganda.
Okay, slow down.
Oh man, you're not kidding about those brakes.
No, I was not.
Those brakes are so sensitive. The last thing I want to do is hit somebody in a foreign country. Left?
We're going left here.
For those of you who might be unfamiliar, Uganda was formerly a British protectorate. It gained its independence in 1962. However, many English customs remained as part of the culture, including driving on the left side of the road and the driver's seat on the right side of the vehicle. And it offers a very different experience, but one worth learning.
Ashraf! Hello! I'm coming for your job. That was a lot of fun.
As we finally arrive back at the orphanage, it quickly becomes clear that something has been brewing between Chris and the kids.
coming to you live from Uganda here today. We are here for the first ever International UOCC Volleyball Championship. I have two absolutely legendary teams with me here today. We have Team USA represented by Chris here, and we have Team Uganda represented by Daniel here. Chris, your team has suffered tremendous losses this season as well as some heroic victories. You've also suffered some bad Indian food and maybe a few bugs going around. How do you feel about today's game?
I feel bad for them. That's just giving them a little bit of a head start that they're probably going to need. So it's okay. We'll be all right. I'm pretty confident about our abilities.
Could not agree with you more. Daniel, how do you feel about today's game? You guys have had all week to practice. You've known what is coming, and you are absolutely, I know, crushed on the inside that we're actually going to win, and you guys are probably going to lose. But how do you feel?
It's going to be a banger. What I can tell you, we're going to turn a white man into a black man this evening, because we are the only men that can look at a woman and she gets pregnant without touching her. So we're going to show him.
You can have that all day, bro.
Oh my God.
There you guys have it. I'm going to get banned off of YouTube. Let's get started with this game.
It's good!
There's been a lot of trash talk going around leading up to this game. With the stakes this high, our team captain Chris gives us a proper motivational speech.
She's the one that needs more than anything, and she's not.
What? You pointing at me?
Yes.
What you talking to?
No. If it goes straight up in the air, just get on the ground.
What you think I'm gonna do?
I see what you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do.
turn around and smile at whoever's coming at me.
Okay. I think it's
We're very intimidated because, as you can see, the other team is wearing all the same shirts.
They also have two alternates.
They also have two alternates, and we're all there is.
Guys.
I know. Oh yeah.
I'm not really going to go into details here, but as it turns out, we kind of suck, and there's no time wasted to rub it in with a victory dance. But at least the widows were entertained, I think. With the day packed full of fun, we sent the widows home with as much as they could carry. Tomorrow will be our last day here at UOCC. However, most of these kids will be back in school during that time. So while we have the chance, we say our goodbyes tonight. With today being our final day here in Jinja, whatever illness was going around, I finally get it, and I end up staying stuck back at our hotel. So I leave it to Taylor to pick up the camera and tell this part of our story.
We are here at Itanda Falls, which is part of the Nile River. right behind me here. I'm not usually the one doing the vlogging, so bear with me. Aaron is currently out sick right now. So Uganda Falls here. We're gonna be hiking down towards the river, I think.
So the meaning of the word Uganda, the name Uganda, we have two ways. There is one, according to the culture, it means a grave. Because normal people, when they used to come here, local people, when they used to come around, there is a point where they call it grave 6. That point is dangerous. People, they used to die from that point. They call it internal, the grave. Then another way, they say that this place was a local place. The water was just overlapping on the stones. But because there was expansion and contraction of the rocks, and the water used to erode some weak stones, and making this place be where there is a hard rocks, the water is coming overlapping the stone. Then where there is a weak stone, there is a waterfall. And that word Uganda comes from the cracks, because there was a lot of cracks. That's why they call it Uganda. In our local language, they call it Uganda. Are you getting me? Yeah. So that's why this place is called Uganda.
Despite the rapids' dangers, some locals still make money by showing their skill in body surfing the currents. Thankfully, our team opted to explore the Nile further downstream, where the water was calm and boats were waiting to take us on a scenic tour of the wildlife. Many of the kids have never been on a boat before, and being surrounded by deep water can be intimidating for some of the youngest members of the group, so there's a mix of apprehension and excitement among them as we coast down the river. The boats then pull aside to a small cluster of waterfalls for a special treat that they called the water massage. Apparently there are some pretty nice places to kick back and relax under the weight of the rapids, and the kids enjoyed every moment of it. Little did we know that this would hardly be the most impressive event of the day, because next on the roster was bungee jumping. This bridge goes out over and up to that point right up there. Oh my goodness. That is a drop. And it goes right over a part of the Nile River down there. This was not part of the plan. This was spur of the moment. So, Paul,
yeah?
Why do you want to do this?
Oh, I know it's my first time and I'm nervous, but I want to try it so that next time when I come, I will be an example to others. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Paul, Daniel, Jennifer, Andrew, and Tammy decided to test their steel, giving most of them an experience that they may never have again. So, how was it?
It was scary. I cried a little. Felt like my face was exploding.
Yeah, you decided to go upside down.
Yeah, they told me that's better, so I did.
Well, I guess your back is real straight now.
I'm just glad I did it. Once you get to the edge, you just have to go. Otherwise, you'll never do it for the rest of your life, which is what happened to Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel.
I'm the coward of the 5.
The coward of the 5.
Yeah, it didn't work out. I reached there and got scared. So I lost. I got scared. And I don't think it is in my DNA to jump. I don't think I will ever jump again.
So in your clan, there is no one who can jump.
I don't know if there has ever been one.
You are going to break the record.
That thing is scary. Yeah, I thought I would overcome the air, but I think I was wrong.
But you can do the dirt.
The dirt, okay, with the dirt, I think I'm champion there.
Yes.
Champion of the dirt.
I got up there, and when I went to the other side, ready to jump, so this guy said 2 words that scared me most.
Uh-oh.
He said, "This is the longest bungee jump in East Africa."
He didn't tell me that.
Probably. So I got scared. And the other said, "Make sure you've checked him very well." And then he tells me their maximum limit is 115. I'm on 110, so I'm thinking, I only have a chance of 5 to survive. Then I looked
You were
down.
letting your mind go.
Yeah, then I looked down. I was speaking to myself. I was debating if I have to do it or not. So the mistake that I made from the sitting, I went and looked down. As they opened the gate, I looked down. So I saw it was very far. And my mind was telling me I'm coming this far, up to where this rope is.
Yeah.
Up to where the rock is. Oh.
Even more.
Yeah.
So I accept this one, I cannot.
You did good.
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too, because if I had looked down and backed away, I never would have done it the rest of my life.
And when I heard you scream, it was more worse. It was like, if you screamed, then
It
me, I'm
just
going to
came
die.
out, I don't know.
Aaron, you missed this. You should have been here. I don't know how brave you would have been to get.
Yeah,
It
you
depends.
Might have.
He's
He
adventurous.
surprises me. Yes, he's very adventurous. Let's go eat.
Maybe I will never do that in my life.
It's fine.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Opportunity lost.
It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay.
So there's been a lot of new things happening on this trip that weren't expected. Last time the team came here, there wasn't a stop at the little falls where all the kids had fun playing in the water, and there wasn't this bungee jumping system, and there's probably going to be something else that they weren't expecting either, because this whole place has been going through renovations since the last time they were here, so there's all this new really fancy stuff. They have a really nice open air bar right over here. Let's see. And couches. It's really fancy on the inside too. Very nice. It's really too bad that Aaron is not here for this. He had a fever this morning when he woke up, and he just was feeling weak and tired. We've been going for 2 weeks straight, no breaks, so I think it finally caught up to him. So he's staying at the Hive right now, just getting some extra rest, getting some water, just taking it easy, trying to recoup a little bit, because in a couple days we're going to be out on safari, moving again. So I'm running all the cameras for today, trying to do all the documenting by myself. It's hard to get pictures and videos when I'm just one person, but I'm doing it. All the sponsors and sponsor kids are having a great time out here. They're all hanging out. They're having a great time. They've never done this before. The sponsors and the sponsor kids usually did like group activities with all the other orphans, but this is the first time they're doing stuff with each other by themselves, and I think they're having a great time.
I'm a little bummed I missed out on the action today. I most certainly would have tried to bungee jump. However, our time here has been drawn to a close. Each one of us has been blessed with the opportunity to be here, sick or not. Over the past 2.5 weeks here, we've lived our lives to the fullest and impacted those around us. As we say goodbye to the kids here, we all feel a part of us will be left here.
Stay safe too.
Oh, I will give it to him.
As one part of our journey comes to an end, another here begins. We find ourselves back in Kampala where we meet a new friend, Jamie. He's going to be taking us on a 3-day safari to Murchison Falls National Park. Our first stop along our route is a rhino sanctuary. There's over 40 rhinos living in this sanctuary, and we're about to see if we can find them. Our guide is a ranger that works here at the sanctuary. From here, we follow him on foot, where we will hopefully find some of the wildlife. It doesn't take us long before we find exactly what we're looking for, and I never would have guessed just how close we would get. It's midday, so the rhinos find shade where they can as the heat picks up. And that honestly doesn't seem like a bad idea. We're on a tight schedule, so we get back on the road and we make our way to Murchison Falls National Park. And we make it just in time before sunset to see the falls. These falls make up another section of the Nile River, and they're known as the most powerful falls in the world. Here, the Nile is forced through a tiny gap only 7 meters wide. Over 300 cubic meters of water pass through here every second before falling over 140 feet. These falls are a true display of something you can only experience here in Africa. We'll have the opportunity to see them yet again later. But right now, it's pretty late, so we have to get to our lodging, and past an angry buffalo. All right, so after a really long day of traveling, we are in a safari lodge called, we're in Pakuba Lodge. And this is actually the first lodge that has had a really nice hotel room. We had a very crummy experience last night that we did not record. We were so miserable and tired. We got in late, we had to get up early, and then a mouse ran across the buffet. It was very dramatic, and yeah, that's just how the day started, and it just kind of kept on going like that because it was just constant go, 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 go. No time to stop. But we got to the falls, and then the sun set, and then we made it right here in the dark.
This is probably the nicest mosquito net I've seen so far. And for those of you who don't know, we have mosquito nets over all of our beds because the little bitty mosquitoes here that are about the size of a gnat carry malaria. But we haven't really seen that many mosquitoes so far, so we just use this as a precaution. We're really not that worried about it. Nobody on the team has ever gotten malaria before, so we're really not that worried. Anyways, super comfy bed, and oh my goodness, my favorite item on this list. Do you see what this is? That is an AC unit. Do you know how rare that is in Uganda? It's very rare. Ugandans do not use AC. They think it's for spoiled white people.
That is the first AC we've seen in since Dubai.
Since Dubai.
Since Dubai. Everything in Dubai has AC. But since we've been here in Uganda, nothing.
No, not even the cars. The cars drive with their windows cracked.
Yeah, they're all windows down. And even in the dirt roads, they'll roll the windows up and they still won't turn the AC on. Mm-hmm. It drives me nuts, but they're okay with it, and they are way more sensitive to temperature change than we are, which is ironically hilarious.
They don't like the cold, and so AC is off the table. They call these American toilets because they use squatty potties here. So this is white people toilet, which is so nice compared to the ones that we've been seeing lately. Beautiful shower. Stone floor, provided flip-flops.
Oh look, and this even smashes into the floor too.
Yeah, that's the whole place. 2 rooms. Nice rooms though. Super. This is the nicest place we've seen in Uganda, by far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They got a whole pool and like a whole compound and a
that we're
2-story
totally
dining
not
room.
Going to be using.
We're not going to be using because we're going to leave here before the sun even rises. Woo!
Yep. Okay, so one of my nightly rituals since I've been here in Africa is backing up all my footage. I do this every night, usually, and I'm usually burning through about 200 to 300 gigs just in film a day. That's not really including photos as well. Photos add a lot more. I do like the EOS R6 Mark II that I'm shooting with because I get to shoot with compressed RAW, which saves a ton of space. But the 60 Mark II that I shoot with here does not shoot compressed RAW, so it doesn't take long to fill up an SD card. So it's my nightly ritual here in Africa to back up all my footage. I take all the SD cards, plug them into the laptop, and I transfer everything over to this little SSD. And then once I have it on the SSD, I then transfer it again over to this HDD. So I have 2 backups, and I have a spare HDD as well that I'm kind of tempted to duplicate on an off day here before our flight out. But yeah, that is how I back up all of my footage, and hopefully it all makes it back home to the States when we are done. But I am tired, Taylor's tired. We got to get up early tomorrow to continue our safari. It was a big day today, and we got an even bigger day tomorrow. So I'm gonna peace out and take a shower and crash. With only 4 hours of sleep, we need to get up for an early start. As there are no fences or walls, we were warned not to be out alone at night here, as humans aren't exactly on top of the food chain. But right now, our only holdup is some of the local traffic. Uganda is home to what is called the Big Five game, referring to buffalo, elephants, leopards, lions, and rhinos. It was a term coined from hunters as the 5 most difficult animals to hunt in the country. However, in parks much like this one, the wildlife is now preserved. Today, and over the course of this safari, we're going to have the chance to see the Big Five and more. As we travel further into the park, the views of the wildlife quickly become overwhelming to the point that I can only describe this as a true African experience. There was more opportunity to see the wildlife here than any of us could have imagined, and it took a little bit of patience, but we even got to see a leopard in a distant tree. And not long after that, we found a lion. It felt a little surreal seeing so much in a single day. This land has suffered a lot through war and turmoil, but as it heals, it has now become a thriving paradise for the wildlife of Uganda, allowing us to enjoy it in all of its beauty. There's almost a magical feeling being here in this place. Seeing such large amounts of strange new wildlife almost feels as if we're in a dream. With a little bit of unscheduled rain and Jonathan's shower, we found ourselves taking advantage of a little bit of downtime to relax for the afternoon. By this point, we've learned pretty well that on hard pushes like this, it's best to take advantage of any rest you can get. But it's not long before the rain clears and we're back on the road. We are now making our way to a boat dock where we would once again tour the Nile River, this time taking advantage of a new perspective of Murchison Falls. Although it occurred to us that it was best not to think about the ratio of life jackets to people on board this boat. However, our minds didn't sit on that very long, as our minds became quickly distracted by the views along our route.
Don't make them too shy. Let them do their thing in peace. Don't make them blush.
Good morning, everybody. So we had our first full night's sleep last night. No early mornings today. I slept through everything. I didn't even get to rotate batteries on the charger last night, so that might be a little bit of a problem today, but we'll make it work. But I'm just really glad we finally got caught up. We are on our third day of safari here in northern Uganda in Murchison Falls. We're actually just outside the park, and I have to give a huge shout out to our guide, Jamie, who's been working with us, and he's making everything happen. We're doing pretty much nothing. He's doing the lodging, he's doing the trails, working with the rangers, figuring out where all the wildlife is. He's doing it all, and we're just along for the ride. So huge shout out for him, and this is kind of the hard season to be doing this in because we are in the touristy season, so there's lots of crowds, lots of people traveling, which is part of the reason why we are not able to stay in a lodge any more than one night. So we're kind of having to hop around a bit. So this is our second lodge that we've stayed in. It is very different from our first one. The first one was in the park. This one is actually just outside the park. And I actually don't know the name of this one because I was told last night and totally forgot. And I don't have it on hand with me here, so we'll figure it out as we go. But this is our room and what it looks like. We have 2 windows on either side. We have a floor that's a floor. And then we have the bed, which is used. The sheets aren't made. We're lazy. With the mosquito netting. I kind of feel like we're a little bit of a zoo exhibit with our windows because everybody just literally walks by. And it's just, even with the curtains closed, it feels awkward. I love how all these doors always have these deadbolts on them, and they're all metal. Every door in Uganda is metal, pretty much.
Steel.
Almost, anyway. So once we step outside here on our front porch, we have an absolutely wonderful view of the Nile. It's pretty cool. Great view. It's nice and quiet. You'll see the occasional small fishing boat pass by. But other than that, it's pretty cool. We actually get to see this place in the daytime.
Yeah, the other place we just left at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we left at 5:30 in the morning, so we have no idea what it looks like in the day. But yeah, this place is kind of cool. So breakfast is 10 minutes ago, so let's go to the dining hall and figure out what we're eating.
Millipede.
Today, our journey through Murchison Falls comes to an end as we get ready to return to Kampala. As we wait for our ride to show up, it gives us some time to reflect on everything that we've experienced in our 3 weeks here in Africa. We know not everyone gets to do what we do and experience what we experience. But as a storyteller, it's our job to capture these moments that change us and share them with you. We think back on each experience we had, and I can say with confidence that every person on our team has been affected in one way or another by this trip. It's a long drive back to Kampala, and as we arrive, the sun begins to set. We only have one more full day before we head back home. Our safari guide Jamie drops us back off at our hotel, and we thank him for his time before sending him off.
Yeah, so this is the cityscape of Kampala, or a good chunk of it, and all of its natural sound. I don't know what to call it.
Cityscape sounds.
Cityscape sounds. But as you can see down here, we have a wonderfully bright, flashy billboard. And then above that, we have this tower with a green thing on it. I'm pretty sure that is the mosque that we hear prayer calls on.
Way up there.
Yeah, it's way out there. And now my camera battery is about to die. I gotta get these things on the charger because I really haven't been charging batteries over the past 3 days. So I'm gonna shut this down. We're gonna back up some footage and catch you guys in the morning.
Today is our last full day here in Africa. Our flight home takes off tomorrow afternoon, so with less than 24 hours left before we go, we decide to hit up the tourist markets. And since it was our last full day, it wouldn't hurt to spend the rest of our remaining shillings. Taylor picked out some clothes.
I got some coats. Yeah.
As for myself, I may have bought a sword. With our shopping done, Daniel wanted us to try something new. Yet again, something that you can only experience here in Uganda. Taking a boat ride.
That was a lot of fun.
Good.
I ran out of storage on my phone right as we pulled up to the gate.
Oh no.
Yeah. But no, I got plenty. It was awesome.
We thought that you guys were gone. We got here before you. We didn't expect to get here before you.
No, we stopped at the gas station
Oh.
to fill up, but Andrew and, yeah, I guess it was just Andrew, his boat just zipped on past the station while everybody else pulled in to gas up.
Kept going.
So
Okay.
it just kept going.
So how was it?
That was a lot of fun. You know, I've done motorcycle rides before, so that was not necessarily a new experience, but being in another country in a different traffic system with different laws and regulations, that was definitely a new experience, I would say. How'd you like it?
I loved it. It was for real, not just back little dirt roads to the hive. It was like in real traffic. So it was scary. It was fun. It was awesome.
Andrew, thoughts?
Excited and scared at the same time. I thought I was going to lose my life, but at the same time I was having fun.
Allison, thoughts?
I need to know the language. I got hit on the whole time. I know. I had to keep saying no because I'd either end up with a husband, a fiance, or a boyfriend, or all. I thought I was gonna die maybe twice, but not really. It was fun.
Today we depart Uganda, and it's a sweet and bitter feeling. As we say goodbye to our newfound friends, we find ourselves reflecting on the profound journey that we've undertaken. Our time here has been more than just adventures. It's been a transformative journey that has touched each of our hearts in ways we have never anticipated. Uganda has gifted us with more than just memories. Africa has woven its magic into the fabric of our souls. We came seeking the extraordinary, and what we found is so much more. As we sign off from this extraordinary land, we leave knowing that this journey will continue to change us and live on in each one of us as the people who enter this land are left with the people that return home. And we hope this experience changes you too.